Hi again, everyone. So I'm doing this time lesson 5 of course, our discussions for 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world. And this time, it's the geographic, ethno-linguistic, and literary dimensions of Central and Southern Luzon regions. So we're gonna talk about regions 3. Um, for Central Luzon region, which was recently the path or the trackway of that super typhoon that we just had 2 days ago. It was super typhoon Carding, no, and it brought havoc again to agricultural um, lands of our farmers there, and there was an estimated 160 million plus worth of damages to our agriculture. So not really a good aftermath for our dear farmers. Okay, so that's Central Luzon region, and then regions 4A, Calabarzon or Southern Mainland Tagalog region, and then of course region 4B, the Southwestern Tagalog region, Mimaropa. So in usual class discussions, in a typical class discussions, we're supposed to have a priming or a warm-up activity where I ask you how well do you know any of these regions. However, since I'm doing this in this manner, like a video lecture sort of manner, we're not going to be doing it that way. But I just want to introduce to you the maps and the individual maps of these provinces, of these regions, and of course, what famous agricultural products are from or prominent in these lands or in these provinces. Okay. So, starting off with this province of Central Luzon, Region 3, Aurora, named after, of course, the First Lady of former President Manuel Luis Quezon, the province of Aurora. So, what agricultural products Aurora province is known for are the following: rice, corn, coconut, and other fruits and vegetables. Okay. This one is Bataan, another province from Central Luzon. This is the last frontier of the Filipino Army's efforts to defend our country during the Second World War. Okay, that's why we have the fall of Bataan, or the last cry of Bataan, and that tiny island there. So I just want to show you the sorry, what is going on? Let's go back here. Okay. Oh, it went back. I just want to show you the tiny islets that are isolated there in the southern part of this what's this of this picture of this map of Bataan. This right here is the Corregidor Island. No, that's the last frontier again of our efforts to defend our country during the Second World War. Okay, so that's Bataan. Famous agricultural products in Bataan are the following: rice, corn, coconut again, and other fruits and vegetables. What you'll notice here is that if a province is a coastal province, then coconuts are very likely to be a main product or a main agricultural produce or product in that region, in that place. Okay, so Bataan and Aurora are both coastal provinces. Aurora is facing the Philippine Sea and the Pacific Ocean, while Bataan is facing Manila Bay and West Philippine Sea. Okay, this one is the province of Bulacan. Okay, so there are also a lot of farmlands in Bulacan. So rice is a staple agricultural product there, together with corn, cotton, and other different fruits and vegetables. Okay. Next up is the province of Nueva Vizcaya. Nueva Ecija, another rich flatlands for farming in central Luzon. And the famous agricultural products here are the following: rice, corn, tobacco, and some fruits and vegetables like the following: mango, garlic, onion, banana, calamansi, and other veggies. Okay, and this one is Pampanga. Okay, so in Pampanga we also have rice, corn, different fruits and vegetables. Okay, and this one is Tarlac. Okay, also part of Central Luzon. Okay, and likewise we have rice, corn, and this time sugarcane. So there are a lot of azucareras or sugarcane plantations in Tarlac. And Hacienda Luisita, the famous Hacienda Luisita, is an azucarera or a sugarcane plantation. Okay, and of course other fruits and vegetables. And another coastal province of Central Luzon facing the West Philippine Sea, where the Bajo de Masinloc is located, is, of course, the province of Zambales. Okay, so you can see Masinloc right there. Okay, and the Bajo, or that atoll that became very controversial during the time of Pinoy, is somewhere to the west of that province. Okay, so popular produces of agriculture in Mazambales are likewise the same. We have rice, coconut, since it's a coastal province, it's a coastal area, and some other fruits and vegetables. Okay, so that's the province of Zambales. Okay, so you're supposed to have a group work, but I'm gonna be detailing this group work for next week, especially for the classes I handled. For those classes I don't handle, it's gonna depend on your own timetable, um, dictated or set by your respective subject teachers, like uh, Agnes Añano, Ma'am Zoraida, and Sir JL. So they're gonna tell you your respective group works. So, yeah. Uh, this is a group work for supposedly for an in-class face-to-face discussion, but we're not gonna do this. Okay, this is purely for lecture only. Okay, so basically, what they're supposed to do here is to create a map, and then, it's a race game, and should be fun. But this is a video lecture, so let's move on from here. Okay. And so this is supposed to be like a game a versus game. That's why it's exciting and fun. Yeah, but we're not doing it. Okay, let's move on. Let's move forward. Okay, yeah. So this lesson is going to explore the different geographic, ethnolinguistic, and literary dimensions of Central and Southern Luzon regions. So let's get to know the geography, the ethnolinguistics, and the literature of these regions. Okay, so Region 3, Central Luzon; Region 4A, Calabarzon or Southern Mainland Tagalog region; and Region 4B, Mimaropa, Southwestern Tagalog region. The islands of the Tagalog region. Okay, so starting off with Central Luzon, in Kapampangan we have Kalibugturang Luzon. Okay, and this region is composed of seven provinces. We have the provinces of Aurora, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Zambales, Bulacan, Pampanga, and Bataan. So all in all, there are seven provinces in Central Luzon region, Region 3. And that's where it's located against the rest of the Philippine territory. So it's right there just above our region, Region 4A, and Metro Manila, or National Capital Region. Central Luzon is a vast plain. Okay, so it's also touted or nicknamed as the rice granary of the Philippines. It's basically what feeds the Filipinos, because I think 70% of our rice produces actually come from the farms, the rice fields of Central Luzon. Okay. So yes, again, the provinces are Aurora, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga, and Bulacan. These are the borders of Central Luzon. To the north, Pangasinan and Nueva Ecija, Vizcaya. Okay, that should be Vizcaya. Vizcaya. Okay. To the east is the Philippine Sea. To the west is the West Philippine Sea. To the south is Metro Manila, Rizal, our province, and a bit of Quezon province. Okay. Now, again, as I've said just minutes ago, Central Luzon is the largest plains in the country by land area, about 22,000 square kilometers, and therefore serves as the most important agricultural area or asset of Luzon Island. Okay, and that's just a picture of some of the portions of the farms and flatlands for agriculture of Central Luzon. I believe this is in Nueva Vizcaya, somewhere there. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, okay. This is the rice fields of Central Luzon. Okay, this place is the Minalungaw National Park from Nueva Vizcaya. It's actually a gorge or a canyon. Okay, and this beach, I believe, is from Baler, Aurora. Okay, one of the surfing capitals of the Philippines and one of the surfing capitals of Luzon. Okay? And this is Mount Pinatubo in Pampanga. Well, it's actually part of it is part of Zambales because it's in the Zambales mountain range, and part of it, a big part of it, a big portion of it, is also part of Pampanga. And Mount Pinatubo is going to be a very huge context. The eruption of it in 1991 will be a huge context or component of the next literary piece that we're going to process. Okay. So ethno-linguistically, the people of Central Luzon are either Kapampangans, Aitas, Pangasinense, Ilocos or Ilocano, and Tagalog. Pampanga, by origin, comes from the word pampang, which means along the banks, okay, the bay. And of course, it's very much like Tagalog, Taga-Ilog. So Pampanga are people from the Pampang, okay, or from the banks of the bay. Okay. So these are just some pictures of the settlers of Central Luzon, starting off with our dear native people of Aita. Okay. These are the Kapampangans, although there's really no specific look for what a Kapampangan looks like, but yeah, these are students of Holy Angel University Choir, I believe. Yeah. And there's always this joke around saying that the Kapampangans are the best of the Filipinos, because they're so good in cooking, and a lot of Kapampangans are good looking. Yung sinasabi nila sila doon pinaka the best because of those things. Well, let's let them have it. Okay. And these ones are, of course, the Tagalogs because they're wearing our traditional clothing, barot saya. Again, the barot saya clothing, traditional clothing, is a Tagalog traditional clothing. Okay, I want to emphasize that to everyone. And then Kapampangan is spoken in Pampanga mostly, but some parts of Tarlac, Zambales, Bulacan, even Metro Manila and Nueva Ecija speak Kapampangan because of the nearness of the geography. Okay? Kapampangan is the 7th most spoken local language. About 3 million people speak this language, making it a major ethno-linguistic group in our country. Now, here are the contributions in literature, in Philippine literature, of the Kapampangans, of Central Luzon, specifically of not just Kapampangan, but in other various parts of Central Luzon. Starting off with Aurelio Tolentina, a national artist, author of the anti-US novel Kahapon, Ngayon at Bukas, and Zoilo Galang, a child of sorrow, another national artist, okay, from Pampanga. From Nueva Visca, we have Lazaro Francisco, a personal favorite. I actually love Lazaro Francisco's works, and I started reading his work when I was in elementary, all the way up to high school. So he has Sugat ng Alaala, Maganda pa ang Daigdig, and Daluyong, another newly proclaimed, rather, national artist in literature. I think it was year 2012 that he was proclaimed a national artist. His posthumous proclamation or awarding of conferring of national artist order. Okay. So this is Aurelio Tolentina, and that's a cover of his book Kahapon, Ngayon at Bukas. Okay. Oops, I don't know why that doubled. Okay. Okay. Oh. I think there was an error here because some of the works of the other authors I mentioned are not shown here, but they were shown in our handouts. Okay, so do refer to our handouts. I think there's a bit of a mistake with this PowerPoint slide right here. Okay. Anyway, moving on here. We have Region 4A, Southern Mainland Tagalog Region, Calabarzon, which stands for the provinces of Cavite for Ka, Laguna for La, Batangas and Rizal for Bar, and Zone for Quezon, Calabarzon. Okay, so it's mainland because if you look at its area, the area it's occupying in southern Luzon, mostly it's the interconnected lands of Luzon. No? And just some portions of it are islands, like the ones in the southern parts of Batangas, and the ones in the eastern part of Quezon, which is Polillo Island, the most ravaged place after Super Typhoon Karding 2 days ago. Kasi that's the first landfall happened there. Okay? So the most impactful moment of the storm happened there, or was felt by the people of Polillo Islands. And they need help. I think you can donate in various organizations if you want to reach out and help our fellow people there in Polillo Islands. So please do make your donations. No matter how big or small, it counts. Okay. So there you go with where Calabarzon is in the Philippines. So that's part of southern Tagalog. Okay. And these are just some pictures of Calabarzon. So I think this is Tagaytay. If I'm not mistaken, you can refer to it in our handouts. Yeah. This is the famous Sanjli Point in Cavite City. And lawmakers are actually eyeing this space to become a new main international airport in the Philippines. But I don't know what's going on with the talks there. I think this is I'm not sure where this is, but maybe like in the southern part of like Laguna, the development area there in Laguna, no? Because there's a lot of newly developed cities in Laguna. Okay, and maybe this is Rizal. I'm not sure, but you can always refer to the handouts. I did this like several years ago before I went to Japan, so I kind of forgot where these places are. Okay, so yes, the cities of so all of these are in Cavite. Okay, sorry. So I should have seen that. So that's all of these are in Cavite. Maybe that's in Bacoor or Dasmariñas, and then that's Tagaytay because part of Tagaytay is still Cavite and part of Tagaytay is Batangas. Sanjli Island, not city, but Sanjli Island, which is part of Cavite City. Okay, there you go. And moving on, of course, we all know this. I mean, come on. This is the famous Pamitinan Nature Reserve of Wawa, Rizal. And of course, the legend of Bernardo Carpio was born out of this amazing natural wonder. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is, of course, I think this is Taal. Ah, no, sorry. I messed up. So embarrassing that I have to record my mistakes here. But yeah, this is Laguna Bay. Laguna de Bay, rather. Okay. Laguna de Bay is part of several provinces and cities in Manila. So I think Muntinlupa is part of it. Maybe even Taguig is part of it. Um, Laguna, Rizal. We surround the Laguna de Bay. I think a little bit of Quezon as well is also part of Laguna de Bay. Okay? And then mostly it's Manila and Laguna. Hence the name Laguna de Bay. Okay. And then of course, I'm very sure of this one. This is the island within an this is like a volcano island within a volcano within an island, if that's making sense to everyone. So this is the famous Taal volcano, which just erupted recently. I think like 2 years ago or a couple of months ago. It has like a minor um volcanic activity. Okay. So it's like a volcano within a lake, within an island or something. I can't quite remember the specific description of it. And we can find this in Batangas, a very famous, a very popular tourist spot in Batangas. Okay. And this one is Mount Makiling in Laguna. And this is, it's, the UP Los Baños is actually situated at the foothills of this mountain. And there's a lot of legends revolving around Mount Makiling, like Maria Makiling. Okay. This one's Banahaw, yeah, in Quezon, Mount Banahaw. Okay, and it remains to house ancient forests, no, there, or virgin forests rather. Okay, so Region 4A's provinces are of course Calabarzon, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon, and these are the borders of Region 4A. To the north, it's Bulacan. To the east, it's the Philippine Sea. To the west is Manila Bay and the West Philippine Sea. And to the south is the Sibuyan Sea crossing Visayan region. Okay? The nation's holder of highest regional population with 14 million inhabitants and among the most densely populated cities in the world, it's crazy, is actually Region 4A. So most of our voters actually come here. So it's a vote rich. It's the most vote rich region of our country. Okay? So the ethno-linguistic peoples here are primarily the Tagalogs, some Bicolanos, and some Kapampangans in the north, and Bicolanos in the southeast portions of Quezon. Okay? Tagalog is spoken in NCR and regions 4A and 4B, and in provinces such as Aurora, Bataan, Batangas, Bulacan, Cavite, Laguna, Marinduque, Quezon, Rizal, and parts of Zambales, Nueva Ecija, Camarines Norte of Bicol, Mindoro, Palawan, and Romblon. Now, Tagalog is a very diverse, like it has diversified into different dialects, and most of these provinces I mentioned here have their own dialects of Tagalog, like the Batanggenyo Tagalog, alae, no, the Rizal Tanay Tagalog, the Hane, and of course the Bulaqueño Tagalog, and also even which one is that? Let me just stop this for a while because I think I'm being called outside. Okay. Um, yeah, so the people of Calabarzon are mostly Tagalog. Hence, I mean, that's the reason why it's called the Tagalog region anyway. So, yeah. Going back, I'm sorry I got cut off twice because there were Lazada deliveries that I had to attend to, and every time I get cut off, I mean, I forgot the momentum of where the flow of my discussion was when I where I left off. So, sorry, it's a little bit of a mix up here. Okay, so Tagalog, as I've said during our introduction lesson, lesson one, came from the words taga, which means from, and ilog is river, so taga ilog. So basically that's what why we were named Tagalogs, is because we live near the rivers or riverside dwelling people. Tagalog is the first most spoken local language, about 28 million native speakers and 45 million second language speakers. So all in all, if you do the math here, there are about 70 plus million Filipinos who are able or capable to speak Tagalog, making it the most spoken language in the Philippines, local language in the Philippines. Okay. So here are the significant literary giants or figures, contributors of uh, Region 4A to Philippine literature. First off, we have, of course, Mr. Francisco Balagtas, uh, and his works, famous works include Florante at Laura, Orozman at Zafira, and several others. We have Amado Vera Hernandez, a national artist for literature for Mga Ibong Mandaragit. That's why I had to say to someone or to some people who sent Mga Ibong Mandaragit that it's not a 21st century literature. Okay, but it's an important piece of literary contribution from the Tagalog region. Agustin Fabian's Timawa, it's a novel. And of course, for Rizal, we have Edgardo M. Reyes sa mga kuko ng liwanag, which later became the inspiration behind Dino Broca's Maynila sa mga kuko ng liwanag. Lope K. Santos, Banaag at Sikat. In Batangas, we have Bienvenido Lumbera, a personal favorite, an essayist, and a national artist. That's Francisco Balagtas. And of course, the Florante at Laura, which we are very familiar with. Orozman at Zafira. This is Amado Vera Fernandez. And these are his works, Mga Ibong Mandaragit, Luha ng Buaya, at Isang Dipang Langit. So, Amado Vera Hernandez is quite a revolutionary when it comes to writing. So, he likes to write about social injustices and social issues that need to be addressed. No? Isa siyang makabayang manunulat. No? Okay? This one is Mr. Fabian and his work Timawa. Okay, a novel, Agustin Fabian. And of course, our very own Edgardo M. Reyes from Rizal sa mga kuko ng liwanag. And this became a movie, one of the most acclaimed movies, not just of Philippine movie industry, but of the world movies. Like a lot of movie critics and movie aficionados know this film, Maynila sa Kuko ng Liwanag, and this is the inspiration behind the film, okay, the novel. And of course, we have Banaag and Sikat by Lope K. Santos. Bienvenido Lumbera is an essayist, and these are some of his works. Na? We have Sa Sariling Bayan, Apat na Dulang May Musika. And of course, Philippine literature. This is the main basis of our lessons here so far. A history and anthology. Bienvenido Lumbera, Cynthia Nograles Lumbera, his wife, are the editors. And Revaluation, Essays on Philippine Literature, Cinema, and Popular Culture by Bienvenido Lumbera. Okay. Next up is Region 4A, Southwestern Tagalog Region, Mimaropa. So Mimaropa is right there in the islands separated from the main Luzon island. And this one is the famous Puerto Galera in Mindoro. This one is in Marinduque. Marble Quarry of Romblon. Okay? Famous for marbles. Okay? And Coron, Palawan. I've been there, and Coron remains to be one of my favorite places in the Philippines. So beautiful. Okay? So Region 4B is nicknamed Mimaropa because it's a portmanteau of the names of the provinces that occupy the region. Mi, Mindoro, Ma, Marinduque, Ro, Romblon, Pa, Palawan, Mimaropa. Okay. So the borders of Mimaropa are: in the north, we have Batangas and Quezon. To the east is Bicol region and the Philippine Sea. To the west, West Philippine Sea. And to the south, the Sulu-Visayan Sea. Okay. Ethnolinguistically, people of Mimaropa are called Tagalogs primarily, Mangyans, Marinduqueño, Tagbanwa, Romblanon, and some other minorities or minor ethno-linguistic tribes or groups. And okay, I've already said this earlier. I'm not gonna repeat it. And these are just some pictures of peoples living in Mimaropa, starting off with the native Mangyans of Mindoro, of the mountains of Mindoro. Okay? These are the Tagbanuas of Palawan. Okay, so from Coron to mainland Palawan. So these are the original inhabitants of Coron and Palawan. This is in Marinduque, a typical town festival in Marinduque. Okay. So here are the literary contributions of Region 4B to Philippine literature. From Romblon, we have another national artist by the name of Nestor Vicente Madali Gonzalez or NVM Gonzalez with his works The Bread of Salt, Seven Hills Away, Work on the Mountain. He's a creative writer and again another pambansang alagad ng singing sa panitikan. That's him right there. Nestor Vicente Madali or NVM Gonzalez. So these are the cover works of his famous works. So The Bread of Salt, Seven Hills Away, and Work on the Mountain. So these are basically collections of stories penned by him. Okay. So there you go with our lecture, because this enrichment activity is supposed to be done as an in-class activity. So we're not going to do this since this is just a video lecture. So that's it, and that concludes my discussion, my video lecture of lesson 5, the geographic, ethno-linguistic, and literary dimensions of southern Luzon regions and central Luzon. Thank you.